What's up, guys? It's Frank the Dank, and I am back with more Retro Redemption. And we are still playing Glover. And I sure do have a lot of memories coming unlocked when I get to a new level in this game, because my brother and I used to play it so much. It's been really cool and really exciting. It's quite a lot easier than I remember, but that's kind of the case when you're just a kid, so. Also, we're going to do the Carnival level one, because as you go on, it turns out that these levels get a lot longer, and that's fine, but it's going to mean more videos, because I don't want to make an hour-long video for nobody to fucking watch it. So, we'll do it like this. Anyways, in the meantime, if you didn't see my last video, Retro Redemption is what I'm calling this little series where I'm going to go back and play games I didn't finish when I was a kid. And that's a lot of fucking games. Iconic games, like Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario Brothers 3, or any of the Castlevania games, or, I mean, just about any retro game. There are a handful that I've finished, but it's few and far between, so the series could go on a long time, and could be really entertaining. Aside from that, I wanted to talk about how awesome it is that Nintendo Switch Online now includes the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games that they've added, and I can't wait to see what else they add, because some of the games that they added, it's not that they're not good games, but they're games that I have spent so much time on already that, like, I'm not dying to play them. You know what I mean? So, I'm kind of eager to see if they end up adding some of the Pokemon games, since there's talk that they're going to add Pokemon Stadium, and Pokemon Stadium's pretty much useless without being able to connect your Game Boy to it. So, we'll see how that goes. Pardon me while I work on remembering the controls, because I suck at video games. Go. Alright. So anyways, another couple of games that I'm really hoping to see show up on the Game Boy or Game Boy Color side would be like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, because even though it's kind of corny on the Game Boy, it was still really fun. I have a lot of good memories with it from when I was a kid. I used to play the hell out of it, and I loved it. I was never good at it, but I bet I could get good at it now. So, we'll see. Also, really enjoying the recent remaster of Metroid Prime, because that's another game that as a kid I played it a lot, but I never beat it. And I want to beat it. I want to know how the story goes, and I hope they do release the rest of the trilogy. I never played Metroid Prime 2 or 3, so that should be really exciting. Pardon me while I struggle to get up here. But that's something that I'm really enjoying, and let me tell you how little I'm enjoying something else. One of the retro games I need to go back and play is 007 GoldenEye, and I was really excited for that game to come out on the Switch, but I'm not gonna lie, it is a massive letdown. And, you know, it's like, what was I expecting, right? Because the Nintendo 64 only had one joystick, so it doesn't have dual analog controls, so the camera handle's like fucking garbage. And the controls did not translate well, and I understand. So one of my biggest issues is that on most games today, the shoot button is your right trigger. So like on the Nintendo Switch, it's ZR, but on GoldenEye, it's ZL. And the reason for that would be because on GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, with that big wonky Nintendo 64 controller, you would be using Z to shoot, which would be your left index finger, or, you know, middle finger if you're a fucking psycho. But, so I can see why it translated that way, but I can also see that it translated like absolute dog shit. and it's made it, I mean, it's almost unplayable. My 14-year-old daughter, the older one of the two, she, well, I have three, but the older one of the older two, she, jumped on there to play it with my son, and she has played the Xbox remaster at her dad's house, and, like, that's really good, and they added dual analog controls and stuff to it. So she hopped on with my son, and she absolutely fucking hated it. She's like, this is, like, borderline unplayable, and she's not wrong. It's 100%, like, if you don't love the game, you're not going to waste your time trying to be able to play it, because it came out so badly. They did it dirty by not taking the time to just adjust those controls, and, you know, I can deal, like, if they're not able to add dual analog, whatever. I can work with that, but make the fire button ZR. At least that would feel right, you know, and God forbid they did anything to clean up that messy camera. It just is, it's so, you know, it's always bouncing back because, you know, you only had that one joystick, so there was no constant adjusting your view on the fly. It needed to bounce back to center, and it doesn't work. So, as much as I love GoldenEye, I still have my Nintendo 64 with my original copy of GoldenEye. I am really disappointed in the re-release of GoldenEye on the Nintendo Switch. Would not recommend it to anyone, especially if you're looking for that hit of nostalgia, because it is going to let you down big time. And then another really crazy thing I wanted to mention was how I'd read an article. I'm gonna let this chicken get my ball so you guys can see what he does. He's kind of a nuisance, but he's also funny. You gotta ground pound him to take it back. Now, I remember thinking that was funny as hell when I was a little kid. And I'm fucking right, it is still pretty funny. But anyways, I was reading an article about the new Hogwarts Legacy game, which I'm not, like, probably not my jam. I'm not really, I'm not about Harry Potter. Not that I dislike it or anything, but it's not, like, I don't get excited for it. But I'll tell you what, I read an article that had been released 13 days after the release of Hogwarts Legacy, and it stated that players had logged over 267 million hours in just 13 days. And that's a huge number of hours, but it's an even crazier thought because that's almost an intangible number, you know, most people can't picture 267 million of anything. That is over 30,400 years of gameplay in 13 days. And if that's not the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard of, I don't know what is. Pardon me while I play pachinko here, or whatever it's called, plinko, I don't know. I have to get this marble through all 4 of these slots to collect all of the little card thingies, and I remember thinking this little gimmick was so cool when I was a kid. I'm gonna get the rocket opened up, and I see one of my other favorite memories from when I was a kid, which is that bouncy thing over there, but it's not time for him yet. We'll get there. Right now I need to turn my ball into a bouncy ball and put it on this ridiculous looking hammer thing, because the way to get the card thingies up the top of this stick, god damn it, is to put your ball up there and then ground pound that button that says go. But you gotta be big and strong to do it, so I gotta come over here to the old slot machine. Oh, and bear with me, guys, because this is a memory I do not love about Glover. This fucking slot machine. It's not like it's a few tries and then you get it. It's totally random and you may not get it. for sometimes for fucking ever. So we'll see how long this video is just based off of that. But yeah, I just, I read that about the, 267 million hours in 13 days. And mind you, that was 2 days ago. So, who knows where they're at now, as more and more people buy the game and, you know, play more and more. It's mind-boggling, the actual amount of time that people have put into that game. And I'm not the kind of person to sit here and be like, oh, playing video games is a waste of time. That's bullshit, because playing video games is fun. And if you're having fun, you cannot be wasting time because you're doing something you like. So, 267 million hours. Unbelievable. I bet there is only one other thing that people spend more time on in a day collectively, and I'm not willing to mention it here on my channel for fear that my children might see it. But if you know, you know. But anyway, that's just a little bit of what I wanted to talk about that's going on the scene these days. And, you know, it's just some stuff that I found interesting. I don't know if that interests you guys to hear me talk about stuff that's happening today as I play old games that I'm playing because I didn't finish them back in the day. But it seemed worth doing to me. So this guy right here, his name is Dennis, and that pointy dude, Mr. Tip, will tell you his name is Dennis, but I'm not going to talk to the pointy dude, because I don't need his fucking help. I got this shit all on my own eventually, maybe. Come on. No one to get the last one of these, I'll go hop on the rocket ship and get the fuck out of here. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you want to watch more, because I'm going to keep on making them. I'm going to try and finish Glover as soon as possible and get all the videos up. And, you know, move on to the next game. I don't even know what the next game is going to be yet, but if you guys have any suggestions, make sure you hit up the comment section and let me know. Otherwise, you can look me up on social media, Frank the Dank on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.